Hi boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 9.1. The materials that you'll need today, notebook paper, pencil, math journal, and your template. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is go over our math boxes from the previous lesson. So if you can open up your math journal to page 207. If you're noticing that you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. For the first question, baskets made by second graders, you can see number of children on the side, number of baskets on the bottom. And the information we need to find out is what was the most frequent number of baskets made or the mode. And you can see that 2 was the highest. 2 would be our mode. For question 2, what fraction of dots is circled? And I can see that 1/4 or choice B would be the amount circled. For question 3, fill in the missing numbers. So whenever I see one of those solid lines, I'm going to double. Whenever I have a dash line, I'm going to subtract 5. So I'm starting at 15, and I double 15 to get 30. 30 minus 5 to get me to 25. 25 to double would bring me to 50. 50 minus 5 would bring me to 45, and then 45 doubling would bring me to 90. For question 4, complete the diagram, then write a number model. So I'm starting with 82. My smaller quantity is 39. I know that 82 minus 39 equals 43. So 43 would be my difference. For question 5, draw a line segment that is 6 centimeters long. Divide the line segment into 3 equal parts. So you can see with my ruler or template, I first drew a line that was 6 centimeters long. Now I know that if I was dividing 6 into 3 equal parts, each part would need to be 2 centimeters long. So I made a red line at the 2 and a red line at the 4. So each part is 2 centimeters long. For question 6, measure each of the 4 sides to the nearest centimeter, then add up those 4 sides, and you should have had a perimeter of 18 centimeters. Double check to make sure you have this page correct before moving on to the next part of the lesson. For the next part of the lesson, use either notebook paper or whiteboard and marker if available to write down your answers. If the speed is too fast, pause as often as needed. So for this first question, find the median and mode in the given numbers. So we have the numbers 12, 18, 13, 5, and 8. Could you press pause to find both the median and the mode, and then press play when you're ready to check? All right, so I put my numbers in order. So I have 5, 8, 8, 12, and 13. And once they're in order, then I can start crossing off my smallest and my largest, then the next smallest and the next largest to get my middle number, my median of 8. You can also see that my mode, the number that happened the most times, was also 8 for this problem. Let's try one more like that. So can again you find the median and the mode, but this time use the numbers 52, 63, 74, 23, and 23. Press pause and play when you're ready to check. All right, so the first thing I needed to do was put those numbers in order. So I have 23, 23, 52, 63, and 74. Then I can start crossing off the smallest and the largest and keep going until I get that middle number, that median of 52. Now this time, the number that happened the most was 23, so my mode would have been 23. For the next part of the lesson, you will take a look at the bag that I have drawn. And inside the bag, I have 5 buttons. One button is a white triangle, 2 buttons are round and blue, and 2 buttons are round and white. And so if I were to pull out 2 buttons, I'm wondering how many different combinations could I make? I'll give you one example. So if I reach in, I could draw 1 triangle and 1 blue button. Now can you press pause and find the other combinations and then press play when you're ready to check. All right, so another combination, I could have had a white triangle and a white circle. I could have had 2 blue circles. I could have had 1 blue and 1 white circle, and I could have had 2 white circles. Notice how I couldn't have had 2 white triangles because there was only 1 white triangle there. So there were 5 different combinations that I could have found using this bag. Let's try another problem just like that one. This time, you'll notice that there are 6 buttons, and there's 2 white triangles, 2 blue round buttons, and 2 white round buttons. Can you find the different combinations? Press pause and play when you're ready to check. All right, so I found this time I could have 2 white triangles. I could have a white triangle and a blue circle, a white triangle and a white circle, 2 blue circles, a blue and a white, and 2 white circles. So this time there were 6 combinations. Now for the next part of the lesson, we will put our notebook or our whiteboard to the side and we'll look at Math Journal page 210. You're going to notice that Math Journal page 210 is very similar to what we just got done working on. So this time, your teacher placed 5 buttons in a bag. 1 button is a white square, 2 buttons are round and black, and 2 buttons are round and white. And your teacher wants you to pull 2 buttons out of the bag while keeping your eyes shut. Draw a picture of all the button combinations that you could pull out of the bag, and then tell me how many different ways are there to pull 2 buttons out of the bag. Press pause to solve and then play when you're ready to check. So your order might be different than mine, and that's okay, just as long as you had the same combinations. So the first combination I had, I could have 1 white square and a black circle. I could have a white square and a white circle. I could have a black circle and a white circle. I could have 2 black circles, and I could have 2 white circles. So I would have had 5 different combinations. The last thing that we'll talk about today are math boxes. So if you could look at page 211. I'll go over the directions. Once I'm all done, I'll ask that you complete this page on your own. You can take a picture and add that picture to Seesaw for your classroom teacher. We will go over this page in our next video. So for our first question, make a square array with 25 pennies. How many pennies are in each row? For question 2, write less than, greater than, or equal to. And I would solve these 3 and maybe write the answer next to it. It'll be easier when you're comparing. For question 3, circle the parallel lines. For question 4, the median number of yards is how much? For question 5, use your pattern block template, trace a shape, and draw 1 line of symmetry. There's lots of possible answers for this, but you just need to pick one of the shapes where you could find at least 1 line of symmetry. And for question number 6, count by quarters to $3 when you're starting at 50 cents. All right, I'll see you next time.